Hey guys, um, this video is pretty much a video showing you how I've dealt with my anxiety. I've been dealing with anxiety for about 2 years, going on 2 years now, and I have found outlets to help me deal with my anxiety. Um, I am 26 years old, and the anxiety started when I was about 24, 25. And so basically, my anxiety, I didn't even know what to call it in the beginning just because I wasn't sure if it really was anxiety or if it was stress. But it turns out my anxiety had to do with stress and just little things and bigger things that I was dealing with. Um, I know anxiety isn't really an easy thing to talk about for a lot of people, but for me, that's actually one good outlet for me that helped me out with my anxiety and how to cope with it and deal with it. And I feel like communicating is one of the best things you can do simply because one, you're able to express how you feel, two, you're not holding anything in, and three, at the end, you just feel a big weight lifted off your shoulders, which is one of the best things you could feel after having either an anxiety attack, panic attack, whatever it may be. I was going to school, or still currently going to school, but when I was going to school, I would be in a classroom. I would sit down in front of a class with all my classmates surrounding me, and we would be doing, for example, a math problem. And this was in chemistry class. And all I remember one day was sitting down in class thinking, okay, I'm gonna go about my day, I'm gonna get through this, and I'll be fine. Well, turns out I wasn't fine. I had been dealing with some stuff that till this day people don't really know about. Um, let's just say it was really hard for me at one point. And anyways, back to my story. I was in class, I was sitting down trying to do a chemistry math problem, and I was, doing it. I was like, all right, cool, I got this. Like, I'm focused. My anxiety is nowhere to be found and no way in my way. And next thing you know, I felt like my heart kind of like slowing down, like almost stopping. And I was like, oh my god, like what the heck is that feeling? So all I remember was I went straight into panic mode. My body felt hot. My hands felt shaky. I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I just didn't know what was going on and why it was even occurring. So I decided to get up and leave class. And I was just like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? Why? I don't understand what it is. And then one day I just decided, you know what? I need to find something to help me with my anxiety to help me cope. And I remember coming home one day to my boyfriend and telling him what exactly happened. And he's like, you probably had a panic attack because you've been stressing lately and you just don't know what else to do to deal with it besides being your normal self. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He's like, well, why don't you try to go find someone to talk to or like go to therapy or a psychologist? As soon as he said that, I broke down because for one, I was just like, how am I gonna do that? I don't want to be known as that person. And when I say that person, I mean I didn't want to be judged because I was going to therapy. I didn't want to be judged because I was seeing a psychologist. Like I just didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to have to hear anybody say like something's wrong with me or feel like something was wrong with me. Until one day I came to my senses and I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm tired of not knowing how to help myself and how no one is able to really help me. So I figured, what better way to help yourself than you yourself, right? So I decided, okay, that's it. Today's the day that I'm gonna step into school. I'm gonna go see my psychologist or their counseling services that they had at the I believe the psychological center, psychology center. I don't remember. And I remember walking in, nervous, so nervous, and my heart was racing. Felt like it was coming out of my chest. And the first thing I did was get a paper. I signed the form, pretty much saying what it is I was going through, what I was feeling, what classes I was taking, when I had time to be able to come in and speak to somebody. And as I was doing it, I stopped and I said, I'm really gonna help myself. And it was literally one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life as far as how to cope with it. So anyways, I remember I had my first session and I walked in, and all I remember myself being was nervous, scared, anxious, and sad at the same time. I remember sitting down, and I remember like it was just yesterday. I was doing this, in between my legs, and I was just like so nervous, and I felt like I was at the edge of my seat. Like I didn't know how I was supposed to react in that type of situation. So my counselor is what they call themselves, not necessarily psychologists or therapists, but my counselor was there to help guide me. She basically said that this was a safe zone, that whatever was said in these four walls would stay unless I would talk about anything as far as neglection at home, what is it called? Stress at home. Sorry, not stress. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just this is really like different for me to talk about, but yeah. So she pretty much said that if there was any endangerment to me or anybody at home, any neglect, then she would have to report it. Luckily, there was no need for reporting of any kind because obviously that wasn't happening at home, nor with myself, nor with anybody surrounding my life. So then, she told me that whenever I'm ready, I was able to talk, and whatever I wanted to talk about didn't matter what it was. And she kept asking me, how do you feel? And I told her that I felt sad, felt nervous, I felt anxious, I felt like all kinds of emotions. She told me that it was normal to feel that way. When she told me that, I was just like, normal to feel that way. Okay. So then I was like, well, to me it doesn't feel normal. I said because I've always been the type to be happy and outgoing and not really much of a shy person. And then she started, telling me that the only person that can hurt you is yourself. And the only person that can help you deal with anxiety, help you deal with stress, help you deal with anything is yourself first. So pretty much self-love. And I was like, but I do give myself self-love. But not in a sense where it helped me with stress. So I was like, okay, let me see what ways I could find to help myself. And I just couldn't find the answer. So that session, happened a few times, or I should say I had a few sessions, and honestly, they really helped a lot because she pretty much opened my mind to all kinds of things. She opened my mind to different outlets. She told me that I should start writing in a book, and in that book, I would write how I feel, what I'm feeling, whether it was just one word throughout the whole page, or even just drawings. She told me that drawing, coloring, writing, singing, dancing, all that stuff would help me out. At first, I was like, what if it doesn't help me? Like, at first, I was just like, no, in denial that it wasn't going to help. And then one day, I was like, so stressed, and, I was just like, let me see if this will really help. So, I grabbed my journal. I opened my first fresh page. And I was like, what do I write? I didn't know what to write. I was just like, I don't know what to put. So, my first thing was, anxiety can suck it. And I left it like that, and I closed the journal back, and I kept doing my thing. My next session, I went in, and she asked me if I wrote in a journal, or if I drew anything, or if I tried any of the outlets that she recommended. And I did. I told her that I wrote, anxiety can suck it. I laughed when I said it. She laughed when I said it. And she said, that's good, that's a start. And I was like, okay, like, cool, better for me, it's a good start somewhere. So then she said that when I write in my journal, she said not to think about what I have to write. She just said, write whatever comes to mind. Don't think about it. If you have to think about it, don't write nothing at all. You shouldn't have to think about what's going on and how you feel. You should just be able to write it out. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt at that moment. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just like, what the hell do I write? So then, okay, fine. That session was over. I go home, and I remember stressing out over school and if I was gonna pass or if I wasn't gonna pass. And then what I did was just write in my journal. And I was writing how I felt, how, my anxiety was getting to me, the stress was getting to me. I was having panic attacks. I was breaking down every few hours. I would get triggers of like different things. It could be like people hurting themselves or just anything like that in general would like trigger my emotions, my anxiety. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, this, no, I do not like feeling this way. So I wrote everything in my journal. And I was like, okay, this is helping me a lot. So I go to my next session, and it turns out I was getting better at coping with my anxiety and finding the outlets. I started telling her, how much it helped me. I was just like so excited. I was like, oh my god, it's really working. And sorry if I keep looking away, guys. It's just because my dog is right here, and yeah, he won't leave me alone now. But yeah, so I just feel like whoever's going through something as far as anxiety, stress, or anything in general, don't ever feel like you can't find a way to help yourself. You're the key to your success. You're the key to your mental health. And all I have to say is that whoever is going through something, just know that, yeah, at first you're going to feel like you're beating yourself up. At first you're going to feel like you're falling apart. But at the end of the day, you will be able to help yourself. And it's all going to be worth it. And now I still deal with my anxiety. Not as bad as before, but it's a lot better. And I have to admit that there's a bunch of resources out there. You just gotta find them. You just gotta be able to want to help yourself. And if we're going to school, one of the best ways to do it is by talking to someone. There's people out there that are going through the same thing, and sometimes those people are afraid to come out because they think that people will judge them. The only people that will judge you is going to be truly yourself, and that's a judgment that matters. But as long as you try to find a way to help yourself, you'll be fine. So all I want to say is that whoever's going through something again, please don't be afraid to find an outlet. Another outlet that I use is music. As you can hear in the background, I listen to music, and that helped me a lot. Dancing helped me a lot, whether it was just like, that really helps. You're just letting everything out. Writing in a journal, drawing, even just scribbles, it really does help. I also learned that by coloring helped me a lot too, because it helps you give coordination, and you're coordinating yourself on how to draw and how to color and certain things. what else can I say helped me a lot? For sure, my boyfriend was one of my biggest supporters in helping me out, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me. I told myself I wasn't going to cry because I know that my crying is over. But also, it doesn't hurt to cry, guys. Never think that you can't cry because you can. And for my friends out there who's been dealing with anxiety, I give them props because I know one of my main closest friends, has dealt with anxiety, and it's helped them so much. And I'm so proud of them for how far they've come. But if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I can go over a little bit more details on where you can locate that help for your anxiety and your stress. So you just gotta find your outlet, guys. And if you like my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks, guys. Bye.